Good morning, class.
Good morning, Miss.
So today we will be looking at weather elements. Now, based on your knowledge, can you tell me what weather elements you know of? Go ahead.
Temperature,
Temperature, sorry, humidity, rainfall, clouds, sunshine. Good, very good. You know a few. Today specifically, we'll be looking at wind. But before we get into that, let's make a note in our books on the elements of weather. Okay? The elements of weather are, can you read for me?
the elements of weather are sunshine, cloud cover, wind, rainfall, temperature, humidity, atmospheric pressure.
Very good. Come in, have a seat. Good. Let's write those in our books. Weather elements. First one, sunshine. You're free to doodle a little picture next to it. Sunshine. Second point, cloud cover. Third point, wind. Next point, rainfall. Next point, temperature. Next point, humidity. Last point, atmospheric pressure. Now, over the coming weeks, we'll be looking at each or every 7 of these weather elements individually. We're going to learn what they are, what they do, and what instruments we use to test or measure for each one. Okay? Now, today we'll be looking at the weather element wind. Now, who can tell me what is wind? Are you able to define that term? Wind?
This wind is moving air.
Wind is moving air. Is he correct? Yes?
Something close to that.
Something close to that? What do you think wind is?
Well, Miss, personally, Miss, I think wind is something like moving air, also known as breeze. That touch your body, that you feel also.
So, wind is moving air, also known as breeze. Something similar. Go ahead. Wind can be defined as something moving breeze that's either natural or artificial. That's a good one. Anyone else would like to give their own definitions? Okay, well, here's the definition I would like you to know. Could you go ahead and read what I have here?
Wind. Air in motion. It's called wind. Wind has speed and direction. A wind is named after the direction from which it blows.
Good. Can you tell me about any names of winds that you know? The trade winds. Do you know the names of them? The northeast trade winds. You're correct. They have western winds. Okay, so wind is usually named by the direction and speed it comes from, right? So, seeing as where we are, so close to the Atlantic Ocean, what kind of wind do you think is blowing in on us? Northeast trade winds. Why would we call it northeast trade winds? is northeast to us. So good, you are correct. So let's take this definition I'm going to put on the board. What is wind? Let's write air in motion, in brackets movement, is called wind. Can everyone see on the board?
Yes.
So very simple definition we have here. Wind has speed and direction. A wind is named after the direction from which it blows. So you're going to go a little more in depth about air and wind when you're doing geography in grade 9, right? You're going to learn all the names and how to calculate wind distance, etc. But for now, this is a very simple definition that you need to know. Okay? So just take your time and note down what's on the board. Now I have a very simple question to ask you. Can you name the weather instrument we use to tell the direction the wind is blowing? Go ahead. The wind vane. Do we know its other name? Take a time and think. So another name for the wind vane is called anemometer. Okay? So remember that word.
Can you please repeat that?
I'm going to put it on the board. Wind vane or anemometer. So it's spelled clearly on the board for you. We're looking at wind specifically. Okay? Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, I think anemometer measures wind speed.
It measures wind speed, so you are correct. So you see we have device-specific instruments that tell us the direction and speed of the wind. Okay? Thank you. So what you're going to put in your books, instruments we use to measure wind speed. Instruments we use to measure wind speed is the anemometer and the wind vane. Come in, take a seat. And the wind vane, take a seat at the back. And the wind vane tells us what? The direction of the wind. Go ahead. Instruments used to tell the wind speed is called anemometer. And the wind vane tells us the direction of the wind. So do we all have that in our books? Good. Does anyone know what a wind vane looks like? Yes? What does it look like? Can you describe to me the parts of the wind vane? Go ahead.
It's like a steel.
Mhm.
There's a steel rod that holds up that attaches it to the top of wherever you want to put it, and it also attaches the.
All right. I know you have the idea, the image clear in your head, but it may be difficult for you to describe. So here we have a very simple diagram of the wind vane. Now, as you notice, it breaks down the different parts. So as we can see here, the arrow that is attached to the rod, and we know that rod is held firmly on the ground, or we put it at the top of the tallest building. Okay? So this arrow is what spins. It spins with the wind and it points in the direction that the wind is blowing. Okay? So let's draw this in our books. So your next heading should be wind vane. So this is the rod that the wind vane would be hooked on. Then we have the little arrows. I'm sure you can draw it much better than I am doing now. Okay, so you have rulers, so make use of that to get your lines straight. Okay? And usually below this arrow, we have the cardinal points to tell us which direction the wind, is blowing in. Can you name the four cardinal points for me? Do you know what they are? Very good. Come on, settle down behind me, please. You're supposed to be drawing. So we're doing this to the best of our abilities, okay? Now, when we're finished drawing, we're going to label our wind vane and the parts that we should know, okay? Now, what did we say is the purpose of the arrow? To show the direction. So it's meant to rotate freely, okay? You know what that word means? Rotate?
Yes.
So learn to spell these words. Rotate, cardinal points. You should know them, okay? Well, the term test is usually based on everything we do in the three terms.
So they are.
Me, you shouldn't worry. This is an easy topic. I'm just building on knowledge you already know. Now, okay, take the time and draw that. I have a question to ask you. How's your drawings coming? Anyone having difficulties? Okay, okay. Don't worry, we can work from there. Okay. As long as you can understand it. So let me know when you're ready to move on to the second drawing. Let me come around and check what you're doing. Ryan? Papa? Victoria? Why aren't you liking my work? You're very lazy, you know that? Can we move on to the second diagram?
See goals or
Who's still working? Raise of hands. Anyone? Okay, I'm going to give you another 2 minutes. Someone has a question?
just want to finish our color.
You can color it. We're still waiting on some others. Are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Good. Now, does anyone know how an anemometer works?
Okay.
Yes? Kyle?
Like a pole. This and there's something like the game, but they have like semicircles.
Cups?
And when the wind blows against it, the more wind, the faster.
Oh, that's a very good definition. Thank you. Here we go. Who else would like to give it a try? Go ahead. I only have a few, so it has to be an excellent definition. Hans Raj.
Miss the modern day winter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, most modern day anemometers have sensors in them that will detect the wind speed, and the faster it spins, the faster the wind speed. If it
Yes,
doesn't spin at all,
you
then
are correct. All right, don't worry. You're going to get more treats as we go along, right? So, if you really want this lollipop, who can draw one for me?
It's not that doing this. Yes, I know it.
No, I already gave you and I already gave you. Let someone else has a try. Who is very confident that they can draw it correctly? Alright, we'll give Tahila a try and then we'll give you, right?
It's not to be. Excuse me, miss.
Fine, just now. Can I take this off?
Yes.
You know what? Do it at the bottom. We'll come back to that. Draw it big so we can all see. Is she correct? She's pretty accurate. Good job. Go ahead. Let's see what you have. Joshua, never mind. Okay. You're going to get your chance as we go along.
Miss, I'm not trying to be ungrateful, but Miss, do you think next time you could get the blue one?
I just bought what they had. Alright. Give me a moment. So, okay. So, I see you have an accurate image. Yes, thank you. We have an accurate image of what an anemometer looks like. So we're going to draw it in our books. Right? And I'm going to put it on the board. And when I draw it on the board, we're going to explain a little bit about how it works. So similar to the old-fashioned wind vane, there is a hole. And because this one here is more technologically advanced, it does have sensors installed to show what direction the wind is blowing. And it also tells us the speed. There are special sensors attached that tell us wind direction as well as speed. So remember, your line should be straighter than mine. And if you even have a compass, you can make this into a perfect circle. Go ahead.
Are there anemometers like for cups?
There are different kinds. But this one here that we're using has three cups. Now this anemometer, it works similarly to a wind vane, okay? So it's a tool that measures wind speed. Now it works by using those cups. See these cups here? It uses cups or a propeller to turn when the wind blows. Okay? Now, the faster the wind, the faster these cups will spin. And the speed of rotation is what they use to calculate the wind speed. Alright? So, even though this is telling us how fast the wind is going, scientists still have to use a special formula to tell us the wind speed. Okay? So, in these cups, wind blows into these cups and forces it back. Now this metal pole that it's attached to, it's a rotating shaft. Yes, it has to rotate to account for this, the cup. No,
While that stays still?
this entire thing rotates. You see? The arrows, it rotates. Similarly to the wind vane, where the arrow rotates, that rotates in a circle as well. Good. So who's finished drawing and labeling? So we're nearly to the end to this part of the lesson. After you're finishing drawing, we're going to make our very own wind vanes in class, okay? I'm going to show you I'm going to demonstrate each step as we go. Can I go ahead and take this off? Good. So yesterday I gave you a list. Give you a list of the different elements we have to bring today so we can make our wind vane. How many of you have them all? Good. Now we're doing a very simple wind vane. Your cup will be the base, or in this case, the shaft. Okay? Now this isn't going to rotate, it's going to stand still. Pass this cup down. So The cup is going to be the shaft that our wind vane is going to sit on. Our pencil will act as a shaft. And then we have our straw. And we're going to make cutouts on the paper of the arrowhead and its tail. Okay? It's very simple. I will demonstrate as we go along. The tax, you need something. Yes, he's correct. It's to attach the straw to the pencil. Okay? You need an eraser at the top. Remember I told you. Alright, for those of you that have the plastic cups, I'm going to use the scissors and I'm going to bore a hole into it for you. Right? I ask you to bring a long pencil. Give me a moment. Yes, questions. I don't have any extra pencils. That's okay. You don't need to puncture it all the way in. You promised me yesterday that you were able to get a pencil. Okay, that's okay. So those of you with a paper cup, use your pencil and pierce a hole. Someone lend me a pen. Someone lend me their scissors. Or you can use a pen, something that's sturdy. Punch a hole. Be very careful. Go ahead. Be very careful when you're making your hole. No accidents. If you need help, let me know. Bring it to the front. So once you've made your hole, just insert the pencil at the top. Make a small one so it can stand. Okay, just form a line. Okay. Anyone have any extra paper cups? If you, it can still hold. Take your time. Let's take our time and punch that hole. Class, please settle down. I have paper clips. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to unfold them and use a pointed edge to pin the straw into the eraser. Insert it more. That's okay. All right, class, settle down, find your seats. That's good. You collect the plastic cup. It's his. Jaim, could you assist him? Because I saw you punctured yours. Be careful. All right. How many of you did not bring thumbtacks? Just bring it to the forward and front. I'll give you a paper clip and I'll make an indent with your. I think I have scotch tape. Hold on. Bring your paper straw. Your straw. Hold on to this. So you see where I'm making this little hole here? That is where you're going to insert this into it and pin it to the eraser. Okay? Alright, who else needs help piercing their straw? You pierced it, but it. Alright. Giovanni, did you get here? Good, good. Let me see your cups and pencils. Put it in. See? This is what you should have. Good. Now what we're going to do, show me your construction papers. You're going to cut an arrow and a tail from this paper. But here's what we're doing. Fold it into a 1-inch strip like this. We're folding it into a strip. Good. Cut along the line that you made. Please find your seat. Who does not have paper? Who needs paper? Anyone else needs? Good. So cut along that line that you made. Do you all have that strip? It's his scissors. Good. So, alright class, just listen up, follow the demonstration. Let me see your strip. From this strip, you're going to cut the arrow. What you can do, turn it to the side like this and cut diagonally. Do you know what that word means? You're going to cut here, straight across. And you're going to get a little arrow. You can use a ruler to guide you. So here's what we're doing. You have your strip. You see how I have it here? How I'm aligning my scissors. Look. And cut directly up. Like this. See? And you have a little triangles. Good. You're doing it right. And for the tail, what you can do, use the other end. Use the other end. Using the other end of our strip, draw an arrow going inward. See? Can you see this? Draw the arrow going inwards and you can cut it out. You can pass this around to see how I drew it. So you should have your triangle and the tail. Do you see? Do you understand? Who needs help? Tahila. You can borrow one from Tahila. Or look, Hansraj has one. Please take your time when you're cutting. Go ahead. Very good. Just let me hold this for a quick second.
Let's go like this.
Bring it to the front. Let me see. So, like this. See? Cut along that line I made, but you know, neaten it up. Who else need help? That's good. You want to do this side?
No, what to do with that side?
Okay, so you cut directly across like this, and you get your arrow. See? And you have the tail. But neaten it up, right? Make it nice. Anyone else need some assistance? Come to. Yes. You getting 5 marks, everybody. Okay, so I have a staple machine and tape. Come to the front, let me show you. That's good. So for those of you that have already made their cutouts, use your straw. Paste, or you can use the staple machine that's coming around. Staple the arrow to one end like this, and staple your tail to the other end. You can use paste, you can use tape, you can use staple. Just like that. Anyone else needs paper clips? Come. Bring the straw. Let me pierce it for you. Yes, bring the straw. This can pierce.
I thought we had to pierce the eraser.
We're going to come to that.
That's what we have to do with the eraser. Put the paper on it, right?
Remember, the eraser will be on the pencil.
Yes.
So, all right, class. So I saw many of you already done it, but a few of you are confused. When you have your straw here, right? Just simply take your paper clip or the pin, the push pin that you have, insert it from the top of the straw. Go ahead, stick it. Insert it to the top of the straw like this. And you see we have our pencil. Put it in the corner, please. Class, you see we have our pencil here. Just simply secure it within the top of the eraser. See? You have to secure it, okay? Do you understand that part? Good. Now, last thing I would like you to do. Using the paper, the extra paper that we have, paste your wind vane onto the base and write your name. Okay? Ariel, when you're finished, bring yours to the front. It's a good example. Question? Go ahead. You can do that. Alright, class, let's work quietly. Who is having difficulties? Okay, good. Cut out. Alright, Giovanni, hurry up with what you're doing and return the scissors. What happened? So when she's finished here, I'll help you staple your parts.
This looks kind of bad.
No, you did a good job. Remember to paste your base on the paper.
Oh, this thing is not spinning.
There's no wind in the classroom. Okay. Young man, that's back to front. Your tail. You stapled it back to front. See? Let me the staple machine. Art Kyle. Who needed a staple machine?
All I have to do is staple this on it.
Please be careful with your fingers. Alright, thank you, Ariel. So this is what your wind vane should look like. See? Raise yours up into the air. Let me see. How many of you are finished? No, I borrowed Giovanni's thumbtack. If you like, just use that. Look, I just use that to secure it. Giovanni, would you like to use a staple machine to attach that to the straw? And he would like a thumbtack. So this is a very good example of what we're looking at.
This thing is not spinning whatsoever.
It can't spin, it needs the wind. You need to take it high up and the wind will spin it. Can you feel any breeze in this room? Then you need to make the hole a little looser. Alright. So you did a very excellent job. Just find your seats and let's wrap up. So can you tell me what is one thing that you learned in this lesson?
It's how to make a wind vane.
How to make a wind vane? Okay, you learned how the anemometer works. You learned what a wind vane does. 70. You should be working quietly. Good. I would like to know what you learned at the end of this lesson. You learned what is wind. There's space coming around. You have to use space. Go ahead. If you have it, use it. Alright, class. So just finish up with your wind vanes and we're going to end the lesson here. You guys did a very good job.